If you're hooked on stories filled with love, betrayal, and shocking revelations, don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button and become a part of our storytelling community. Let's dive into our latest narrative. As I went about my mundane task of folding laundry, a peculiar sight caught my eye. An envelope peeking out from under the couch cushion. Initially dismissing it as a misplaced bill or overlooked greeting card, I eventually gave in to curiosity and retrieved it. To my surprise, the envelope bore my name in his unmistakable handwriting, sending a wave of unease through me. It was a revelation I hadn't anticipated. The notion of him planning to depart never crossed my mind. With years of marriage and companionship behind us, I had assumed our foundation was firm. Although far from flawless, I believed we could weather any storm together. That very morning, Nathan had bid me farewell with his customary forehead kiss. Nothing amiss, nothing atypical. However, the contents of that letter painted a starkly contrasting picture. Standing motionless in the living room, I clutched the opened envelope and its trembling pages, endeavoring to comprehend the narrative unfolding before me. His handwriting. He was aware all along. The letter began, "I wanted to tell you this in person, but I feared I wouldn't be able to control my emotions, or worse, I might not be able to stay." Overwhelmed, I sank into my chair as my knees gave way. "I discovered this 3 months ago," he confessed. "Initially, I doubted myself. I didn't want to accept the truth. You and Ben, of all people, my closest friend. I kept reassuring myself it was just paranoia. Ben's name had not passed my lips in weeks, not since the incident." Nathan's words echoed. "You started working late. Your distinct perfume clung to clothes unworn at the office. You laughed at messages unseen by my eyes, and when I checked our synced iPad, I found it all. The conversations, the photos, the jests, the disparaging remarks about me. It made me sick. He knew, he was aware of everything, and yet this morning he still kissed me goodbye. Had dinner with me last night, watched Netflix together. It was all an act. Our life appeared normal on the surface, yet beneath the facade, a man silently packed his bags. I refrained from addressing the situation until I was certain. Upon reaching that point, a storm of conflicting emotions consumed me. Did I resent Ben for his betrayal, or you for deceiving me with a smile on your face? With a heavy heart, I buried my face in my hands. Our affair had begun impulsively during Nathan's absence at a conference. In a moment of recklessness fueled by too many drinks, Ben and I crossed a line. Initially dismissing it as a mistake, I assured Ben it would not recur. However, it transpired 4 more times until I mustered the strength to end it. I ghosted Ben, avoiding any circumstances that could lead us astray. Convinced it was over and that Nathan remained oblivious, I deluded myself into thinking I could mend things from within. Yet, Nathan had been privy to the truth all along, in silence. As the letter unraveled, I found myself torn between fury and despair. Visions of screaming, hurling your belongings out the window, or confronting Ben violently clouded my mind. However, what I truly sought more than anything was, I recall the numerous occasions when he gently inquired of me during those weeks. "Are you happy? Is there something on your mind?" Despite his probing questions, I always deflected, offering false smiles and lies effortlessly. "I was waiting for you to be honest," he penned in a letter, "yet you never came clean. It dawned on me that you weren't remorseful. You simply hoped the issue would fade away." As I sat reading that letter, time seemed to slip away, and by the time I rose to my feet, the house felt deserted, devoid of his presence. His absence was palpable, his toothbrush missing, his watch absent from the nightstand, and much of his closet empty. The letter wasn't meant to explain, but to bid farewell. At the closing of the final page, the words stung the most. "I loved you more than anyone else ever will." No signature, just that. The following hours were a haze. I attempted to reach him to no avail. Calls unanswered, messages read, but unacknowledged. I even drove to his office, desperate for a connection. The assistant politely informed me that Nathan had taken emergency leave and would be unavailable for the foreseeable future. I reached out to Ben, screaming and accusing him of telling Nathan, but he too was unaware. In silence, Ben expressed that he never intended for the situation to escalate. Feeling defeated, I hung up on him, realizing then that Nathan had uncovered the truth on his own. He observed my facade, waited for me to confess, and, upon my failure to do so, he departed without a confrontation. This silent departure served as his form of retaliation. 4 months have passed since his disappearance, with no communication, only a letter and the weight of the damage I caused lingering. His family has distanced themselves from me, and our friends have chosen sides, mostly siding with him. I now reside alone, having sold the house due to the haunting memories. There has been no contact from Ben since our call, and I find no desire to hear from him, as he symbolizes the regret of my past actions. At times, I find myself staring at the door, hoping for Nathan to return and absolve this unfinished chapter. He believed it was a test to see if I would pursue him, to determine if we had a chance. Despite giving me the opportunity to be honest, I opted for silence, seeking comfort and acting out of selfishness. I now bear the weight of that decision, living it out day by day in silence.